We're recording. All right. Hello, Idiots on Parade, the too ugly for TV podcast. We mock the news so you don't have to. I am Nathan Timmel, stand up comedian in Iowa City. With me, as always, is Jake Fevra, stand up comedian in New York City. Hello, Jake.
How's it going?
All is well here. We'll wait for listeners join in live, but we'll just get started because we are recording the actual podcast. Jump in right away. We missed it on Sunday night last week. We're a week behind, but Tony Hinchcliffe set the world on fire in Madison Square Garden. Jake, you're in New York. It was ground zero for you. What was New York like? Did you cry? Did you have a peace rally? Did you have a vigil? A comedian told a joke, and the world responded in pain.
Well, I was disgusted when I heard what Tony Hinchcliffe said because I was like, God damn it, that's my joke. I've been telling that joke for years. For years. He stole it from me. This is highway robbery.
I love the fact that every comedian I've seen, well, most have come to his defense. Jon Stewart came to his defense, not his defense, but just said, you hired a roast comedian to tell mean jokes. What did you think was going to happen? Like, they didn't defend the joke. They just sort of defended the situation. They said, yeah, that's what he does.
He's a roast comic. And so it's, the thing is that joke, yeah, it's not something I would have said on stage about Puerto Rico, but I mean, in terms of offensiveness for most comics, it was pretty high. On the scale of offensiveness for Tony Hinchcliffe jokes, this was like a 1.8 out of 10. Are you kidding? Like look up some of the other guys' stuff. It's just that in a roast, I mean, that's even beyond like a normal stand-up comedy set. Like it's supposed to be over the top offensive most of the time. That's kind of the purpose of the thing. So when you take somebody out of that and put it not even just in a regular comedy show where like stuff like that's going to be a bit much, but a political rally, it's going to sound wild. I mean, it's sort of like going, oh, I'm trying to book entertainment for my 10-year-old's birthday party. I found this lady on Pornhub whose act I really like. I'm gonna hire her for this, and then you get upset because she's blowing everybody, and it's like, well, I mean, that's what she does. So yeah, you hired Tony Hinchcliffe, and then everybody who had never heard of him was like, wow, I am shocked at this horribly offensive joke. Whereas people who knew who he was just saw Tony Hinchcliffe being Tony Hinchcliffe, and they're like, well, it's weird to see him doing it at a political rally, but that is what he's going to do.
I have two thoughts. First of all, Rich Whitfield asks how we're doing. Doing great. He wants to know why you put that comic at a political rally. I have two thoughts. One, Jake and I have talked a bunch on this podcast about what's called ambush comedy, where you have a dinner or a bar and they decide to do a comedy night, but they don't tell anyone. It's their idea, or some comic goes in and says, oh, we're going to set up a comedy night at your bar. It'll be great. And the bar sort of goes, yeah, I guess, fine, whatever. And then the customers that were not there to see comedy suddenly have a comedian yapping at them, and they're like, what's going on? We're here to see, anything but this. And as I'm talking, I said I had 2 points. I forgot the other one. You said something that made me spark. But yeah, there's literally, you don't ambush people with comedy. You don't go bring a comedian he's out of his realm. It's not his fault. It's you don't put comedians at a wedding.
Look, you could book Jim Gaffigan to do a set at a political rally. Like, I mean, still a bit of a strange choice. You'd think they'd be there more for politics, but like, he's not going to go viral and anger an entire sort of state from voting for you. I mean, like that. They just didn't know who the hell they booked.
I know they did, because they vetted his jokes. Here's the other point I wanted to make. It actually goes off Rich's question. Why put him at a political rally? Because Trump has been going on these podcasts. He went on Rogan. He went on Andrew Schultz. He's trying to appeal to the young men that listen to them. It was actually kind of a shrewd move in a way, like, oh, we'll get the viewing audience, people that like Kill Tony's a huge podcast. So they say, let's get the Kill Tony viewers and listeners to watch the political rally. they're all in. The problem is the people in the arena are not ready for it, and the world at large isn't ready for it. So that's why you do it. He's trying to appeal to a certain base. It just wasn't the best way to do it. He goes on Kill Tony's podcast, he's fine. When he goes on Rogan, he's fine. It was just a bad move to bring the comedian to a political rally.
Well, right. And I mean, Trump's kind of like pussing out and like trying to backtrack from him too. I heard a clip. He was on Hannity going, I don't know who this guy is. I don't want to know him. I have no idea. I have no. And then this moron tried to do a thing where he was like, I haven't heard the joke.
Yeah.
Really, the whole fucking country is talking about it's a one-liner. It is a one-liner. It literally takes 10 seconds to listen to. You didn't get curious to why the entire island of Puerto Rico is now burning Trump flags? What are you talking about?
Well, it was good news for Kamala, but I want to segue into our next news story. Also good news for Kamala. And I love the headlines because every headline is the same. I sent you one. I'm reading from Fox News right now, but I saw it on CNN. I saw it on The Guardian. Rashida Tlaib refuses, that's the word they're using, every headline, refuses to endorse Kamala Harris as Gaza war takes toll on Democratic voter base. All right. First of all, those headlines are great. That's a net positive for most Democrats because she's a fucking insane member of the squad. So if she's not out there, saying vote Kamala, that's one thing. The problem is the instant you click on the story, Representative Rashida Tlaib refused to endorse Vice President Kamala Harris at a rally in Detroit, Michigan. She appeared alongside squad members AOC and it said, member AOC at a auto workers union where they were trying to get out the vote, and AOC specifically endorsed Kamala. It was a Democratic run event. She just, is like, hey, we're here with AOC trying to get people out to vote. And she just didn't say Kamala's name. They're turning it into a big nothing. So the headline is actually better for Democrats than the story would suggest.
Well, yeah, I mean, look, I get why Rashida Tlaib is not happy about Kamala Harris. I mean, if they were just chanting on campuses like a few months ago, Genocide Joe, and then Genocide Joe steps aside and it's his vice president, you know what I mean? As opposed to having a primary. So I thought there would be a lot more pushback from that side of the fence. Honestly, I think the main reason there's not is because the other person to vote for is basically going, I'm going to let old BB do whatever the hell he wants.
Yeah.
He can nuke that fucking place for all I care. Like that's, honestly, if Trump was smart, he would use this as a wedge to divide the Democrats, but he's not. He could be doing, and I get with his base, he can't be like pro-Palestine or whatever, but he could just do like, I hope Israel kicks the shit out of him. I just don't want to pay for it. If he did basically what he's doing with Ukraine, he would be splitting the Democrats right now.
But he's not. Yeah. What you just said, that's what makes it funny is you were very generous up front. You said, I get why she doesn't do it. Or a couple of months ago, we had people protesting. It's because they're all stupid. They're like so angry at Biden and Kamala for being feckless and not doing anything. And so they want the guy who is worse for Palestine to win, which makes zero sense. I mean,
well, yeah, I mean, honestly, but she hasn't really said much on it. To be fair to Rashida Tlaib, she hasn't really said much on it. Here's Kamala's stance on Palestine. I call it having your chickpeas, but still probably going to give Netanyahu about $1 trillion after this. That's what every time she goes into this section of her piece, she says she wants a ceasefire, but she wants the hostages released.
Yes.
We all do. What happens, though, when the right-wing assholes who run Hamas keep bombing Israel and the right-wing asshole that runs Israel keeps bombing Gaza? What the fuck do you do then? Because I can almost certainly guarantee you both of those things will happen. So then it becomes a more difficult question, and nobody gives a follow-up. It's basically her solution is I want to click my heels together 3 times and make both sides stop bombing each other and get the hostages released. Like that's pretty much her stance. And to be fair, I don't know that there is a good response for her to do right now, but people aren't pounding her on it. So
I don't know that there's a good response for everybody. Last week we had the question, like, what are our thoughts? Our thoughts are that this has been going on for a couple hundred years. Nothing we're going to say is different. We do have an important question in the chat from Euro African. Have you two ever kissed on the lips? Yes, that's on our OnlyFans. That you have to pay for. This is our free YouTube.
You want to, bastard, stop trying to leak our nudes. All right, we got to make money. We got to get a studio that's not in a basement.
We pay people. You pay us not to see us kiss, because Jake, you and I kissing, that's a buzzkill right there. We're erection killers. You see us two kissing.
That's right. It's like Viagra, but the opposite.
Yes.
This is blue vomit. It's different.
All right. Staying on the election. Man arrested for Phoenix mailbox fire that damaged early ballots.
Wait, we got the question. We got another question before we go into this. Love the streaming. Just quickly, any tips on how I can get my dad to stop getting super jealous every time my sister and I sleep together? Ask Eric Trump. I don't know.
There you go. Man arrested for Phoenix mailbox fire that damaged early.
I hate that I derailed the podcast for that fucking terrible riff. Anyway, God damn it. That's the bad thing about live. You just kind of bomb and keep going.
It was a good question, a bad response. I'm going to read the headline one last time.
Yeah.
Man arrested for Phoenix mailbox fire that damaged early ballots. I like two things about this. One, I have had this thought forever. Whenever I see those ballot boxes out there, I've always wondered why people who are anti either side, they don't seem safe, why they aren't damaged more often. And there have been fires lit. This is one of them in Seattle and Washington and Oregon, I think. You just put your ballot in, and it's like, oh, now it gets destroyed. I'm voting tomorrow. Tuesday. I'm not voting tomorrow. I'm voting on Tuesday. This will post on Monday. Either way, here's my favorite part of the story. So first of all, you think like, wow, they actually got, what was it, cameras? Was it witnesses? How did they catch this guy? He was arrested on an unrelated warrant and said in a press release that during the interview, he admitted to setting the fire. So they got him. He turned himself in, basically. Like this big headline, oh, we got him. Yeah, except he admitted to it. You that's how crimes are solved. There was no matlocking, no Magnum PI out there hunting this guy down. He admitted to it after being arrested. I want to know what he was arrested for. But he said his actions were not politically motivated. He set the fire so he would be arrested and taken to jail because fuck this article. It says he has a history of being unhoused. He's a homeless dude that wanted a cot and some food.
He's just, I didn't like how the article was almost trying to steer or insinuate this is some kind of political movement by the right or somebody. And then you read, it's like, oh no, this was just a crazy homeless dude who probably thought the mailbox was talking to him. You know what I mean? Just,
he didn't even think it was. He just wanted a shower. He just wanted a hot meal. Yeah. He wanted to go to jail. Right. He's like, "What can I do? I don't want to stick up a place. I don't want to have a knife. Oh, I'll just set this ballot box on fire."
Yeah, I didn't like how it was almost trying to. You have to dig down for that, and they're almost trying to insinuate like, "Oh my God, look what this MAGA movement is doing," and it's like, yeah, I'm not a big Trump guy at all, but. This is just a crazy homeless guy lighting a mailbox on fire. He would have done it this time last year. He's fucking bonkers, man. He doesn't even know there is an election. He doesn't know who the president is right now. Oh shit, my Zoom just crashed.
Oh, that happened last week too.
This way we can edit it together, and you just keep talking until I get it back.
Well, I'm gonna keep talking, but my next favorite statement in the article comes from Secretary of State Adrian Fontes, who said in a written statement, ballot abuse is a felony in Arizona. I love that phrase, ballot abuse. You have spousal abuse, you have partner abuse, you have animal abuse, ballot abuse. I mean, just say destruction of a federal, like it's federal property. It's mailbox vandalism, but ballot abuse jumped out at me for being amusing. I don't know why. Frank R says, good idea from him to get free showers. Yeah, just as long as here's the oldest joke in the world. I apologize, but don't bend over for the soap. Or maybe he's into that. I don't know. I'm always getting crashed out in meetings, Valerie Parker. Yeah, Zoom is not reliable. All right. Do you have anything to? You're still up on my Zoom.
Yeah.
You're back.
Yeah, I'm back. There we go.
All right.
We go. Yeah. Sorry, was getting the Zoom there. Yeah.
Oh, shoot. I should
We're
have
still
done this story earlier. We should have tied it in. We're going to jump back to politics. Well, we've stuck to politics, but this goes back to Puerto Rico. Nicky Jam, who stood on stage with Donald Trump 1 month ago while wearing a MAGA hat, says he is withdrawing his endorsement of the former president. Nicky, who is Puerto Rican, tells his 43 million followers on Instagram that he supported Trump because he thought that it would be good for the economy, but he can't look past the disrespect that's been showed toward Puerto Rico. Okay, two thoughts, and then I'll throw to you, Jake. One, 23 Nobel laureates have endorsed Kamala Harris because they say that her plan will be vastly superior in economics. Nobel winning prize in economics say vote Kamala. But more importantly, Nicky, I would respect you if you stuck to your guns. He literally did that bridge too far thing where it's like, oh, he made fun of Mexicans. Oh, he doesn't like the Chinese. Oh, he hates Muslims. That's all good. Oh, he said something bad about Puerto Rico and it wasn't even him. It was a comedian. I'm out. Stand your ground. You can't. Now it hits close to home. Now because it's me. Now it's personal. Now it's personal. God,
If you're
fuck off.
claiming that the guy is better for the entire economy, it shouldn't really matter. It wouldn't. Oh my God, my Zoom keeps crashing. What the?
Trump has never shown respect to any Latino. That is true. What did have you do? Have you not updated your Zoom in a while? What the? I like right listeners. Just before the show, it's funny because Jake and I were having a talk. We do YouTube Live on the phone and then Zoom for the recording that will get posted later on SoundCloud and everywhere else. And Jake was saying we should just do YouTube through Zoom, and I said no. I like doing it on the phone because then when Zoom runs out of time, we jump to YouTube Live, deal with some comments, say goodbye to everybody. Well, and he said no, let's go YouTube and Zoom at the same time. Well, we would be crashing right now if we were on your Zoom, Jake. That's what I'm saying. Is your
It work.
Zoom?
Stop. They're doing updates. That's what's.
Nicky Jam got a lot of heat from his fans for supporting Trump. This gave him a fantastic opportunity to dump Trump and get some fan base back. Joe Schmo. I almost read that as legit for a second, Joe. I was like, Joe. Oh, Joe Schmo. No, that's a good. I did not consider that, Joe. That is a good bit of logic right there. That it's not just a backtrack, but it's a good out. He saw an exit plan. But I still would respect him more if he doubled down and said, because it is a good exit plan, but it's also what I said earlier. It's you can pick on whoever you want, but the instant it hits home to me, now it's bad. And that's bullshit.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna have to go on this one, man, because my computer it's telling me it's trying to install updates from work and they're taking forever. So
All right. Hey, anybody listening on SoundCloud, truncated episode this week. I'm going to sign off here so I don't have to edit it. And yeah, we were on YouTube Live. Bye.
Later.
Wait, they didn't hear the later on that one.
Oh, that's true.
All right. So I'm going to.
When this loads back up, do you want to start again on there and just talk to people in the chat for now, or how do you want to do this?
No, let's just keep going. We'll wrap it up because I got shit to do. So I am.
Sorry. Yeah. I think it says 8% done with the update. So maybe next week I'll just try to restart my computer for the podcast and hopefully it gets this crap out of the way. Because this is twice in a row it fucking did it to me. So
all right. I just plugged into so my mic should be in my phone, and I'm just going to look directly at this. All right.
I'm going to keep sounding like shit, man. I don't have any way to plug my mic into my phone.
That's all right. All right. So, Nicky Jam. Jake, do you have thoughts on Nicky Jam?
I love that Nicky Jam did not pull his endorsement when Trump misgendered him on stage before. That was the thing. Trump was basically talking about getting.
Oh, that's right. He brought him up as a her, didn't he?
Yeah, he's like, we love Nicki. She's a great lady. She endorsed the right candidate, or just, whatever.
I forgot about that. About that.
Yeah. Honestly, okay, here's the thing. The more upset I've never been to Puerto Rico, as defensive as people are getting about the island being called trash, I'm starting to think really it might be garbage. Because here's the thing. If you say that, you know what, I think maybe Connecticut is garbage. People would just be like, hey, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, they don't, but like, they're getting so upset about it that I'm like, people are really pissed about it.
It's a little too close to home.
Trump supporters getting upset that Joe Biden called them garbage. I think they might really be garbage. Like, they're getting very defensive about the whole thing where they went, Puerto Rico's garbage. No, you are. How dare you? Like, it was a whole thing. They got, it's all just just locker room talk and jokes and stuff until somebody says one thing about them, and then they're fucking outraged. They turn into little red snowflakes.
Well, and you and I get called names all the time. If you overreact, it's
Many,
because it hurt.
I
It's like,
agree
oh.
with about 68% of the insults hurled at me over this fucking thing. Some of them make good points.
Valerie, we don't
I
switch
hope,
to
I
Google
hope that all
Meet.
you guys insulting me die in a fire, but like you will be burning and screaming correct insults at me. You'll be screaming accurate things at me. Sure.
Valerie, quick, we don't switch to Google Meet because two reasons. One, we use the free plan of Zoom, and that limits us to 40 minutes because if we did not limit ourselves, we would just keep talking forever and it would get out of control and even worse than it is. But two, Google isn't going to be around that much longer. Google's disappearing because next news story, Russia fines Google more than the world's entire GDP. It's the kind of fine you might want to consider paying off in installments. That was it. David Hadari, the reporter, made a joke. A Russian court has demanded Google pay a number so large that even the Kremlin conceded to NBC News it was more a symbolic gesture than a sum it soon expects to bolster its war funds. The fine amounts to around 20 decillion, 20 followed by 33 zeros, or 2 unidecillion rubles, a 37-digit figure.
Wait a minute. Wait, is this unit decillions in dollars, euros, or
I just
rubles?
said is 20
actually just
$20 decillion dollars or 2 unidecillion rubles. So 200
with the exchange rate. I make no money, but I have like a couple unidecillion rubles right now. You know what I mean? So like that's actually not that bad.
Here's my favorite part. Jake, why did Russia sue Google, and why are they demanding 20 decillion dollars? Because according to their Russian news outlet, it's demanded because of Google blocking YouTube television from YouTube, the video platform, and it's the loss. It's money loss. They think that Russian propaganda videos on YouTube would have generated, if not blocked, 20 decillion dollars. So they just want their money back. Kind of like this podcast. It makes us at least a penny a month. And if we got blocked, we would sue them for $10 million because the penny that this podcast brings us, that we split, this 1 cent, that's worth 10 million in a lawsuit.
I blame Google for the updates that my work laptop was doing to make them crash, and so I would like to piggyback onto this multi-unit decillion dollar lawsuit. Maybe it can be a class action lawsuit. It can be the Idiots on Parade podcast and the Russian government suing Google
for Idiots on Parade and Vladimir Putin support cop podcast. We'll sell out we'll sell it for anything. Doesn't even have to be millions of dollars. We're broke. We'll talk to us.
Yeah, we have
wanted to know really quick why I'm in an S&M dungeon basement, because my family relegates me to the basement. I'm kind of like, it's the opposite of that Halloween of horror with the Simpsons, with Bart Simpson's twin in the attic. I've been relegated to the basement.
Yeah. I know we were talking all this stuff about politics or whatever, but we have no integrity whatsoever. And for tens of thousands of dollars, we will get on here with one of those furry black Soviet Union style hats and just get on here and spew Kremlin propaganda.
I'll try and do one of those Russian dances. I'll cross my arms and squat and hurt myself for your amusement. I'll do one of those.
I call that
a kick dance. Yeah.
Call that. Yeah. I will learn to frozen river dance, and I will I will absolutely spew the what Ukraine was supposed to be part of Russia. Look at your history.
Yes. The amount the court says Google owes is growing too. The case was first opened in 2020 when Google blocked channels that belonged to then Wagner Group, mercenary Yevgeny Prigozhin, and oligarch Kognistan Melotif. It was expanded when YouTube banned further channels. So this is not just Russian. This goes to the Wagner Group. The court ordered Google to restore the accounts within 9 months with a fine of about 100,000 rubles. Oh my God! Why Google just didn't pay it then? Because here we go. They said, hey, we're going to fine you 100,000 rubles, $1,000. That's literally 100,000.
Right.
That's $1,000.
And they were like $100,000. Let's just not pay it. what are they going to do? Up it to a unidecillion? They'd never do that. They'd never do that.
Oh,
Hey,
I
I'm
suppose
back in
that would have
the room
been.
if you want to hop back on. It's
So it jumped back up because no, I don't want to edit it together. Because we got one more story. No, that's it. That's all. Those are all the stories. Man arrested. Yeah. Nicky Jam. Did I? I sent you. Oh, we could talk about Jason Kelce to wrap up. I didn't send you a link, but either way, we did have someone in the chat point out that Google they had to invent the number. Yes, they had to invent the number to for the fine, which is funny.
I liked it. Like
reminds me of Austin Powers. Yes, una gazillion. Whatever. I gotta scroll back up. Hold on. Let me find it. We demand $20 decillion.
Rubles.
Yes.
Yeah, that's wild, man. At that point, it makes it more silly, I feel, if you're making up Dr. Seuss numbers to put on your laws. I'm just saying, if you're trying to make it a big international statement, how this maybe is evidence for Putin maybe going senile, and maybe he's a little bit fucking loopy, because when they're sitting there, it's supposed to be purely what is it, like I just dropped this, symbolic, right? And so they got guys, his top henchmen or whatever.
Yeah.
They're sitting there going, then we will tell Google we are suing them for $100 billion. And Putin's like, not enough. Okay, but they're not going to pay anyway, you understand? But not enough. Okay, then we will tell Google we are suing them for 200 trillion with a T dollars. Not enough. Not enough. Keep going. And he's getting in like science textbooks and shit. You know what I mean? Like mathematics stuff. He's getting equations involved, and it just gets silly at a certain point.
It does. Robert Teresio, TER, the guy on the right, eyeball. I can't see the next two icons. Jay, can you make those out?
The guy on the right. Oh, he's sending me ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs to insult me.
Who's right?
He's saying
the
I
screen
have a
right.
That's as ugly as the god Ra's dick. That's what that means in Egyptian hieroglyph. And I don't appreciate that at all. I mean, it's again, I kind of agree with him, but
All right. Here's I pulled up, actually, I was going to pull up a page to read about the Jason Kelce. Anybody, it happened yesterday. A guy called first of all, the insult. Kelce's walking to a game carrying a 12-pack, and he's got people around him. One guy's yelling at him, and he's filming, he's screaming, and he yells, "Your brother's a faggot for dating Taylor Swift." First of all, every article I've read has blanked out faggot. Like it's the worst slur in the world, but the F star symbol asterisk, what kind of insult is that? Your brother's a faggot for dating an attractive billionaire woman.
If you're gonna call him gay for dating Taylor Swift, at least have the decency to first make up a bizarre conspiracy, QAnon style, where Taylor Swift is a man, like you did with Michelle Obama. At least get off your lazy asses if you're gonna do that.
Yes. So I pulled up. I was going to pull up one story, but I just Googled gay. We all know what happened. You've seen the video. He grabs the phone, smashes it to the ground. So here we go. I'm going to read you 4 different headlines. Jason Kelce smashes Penn State fan's phone for using homophobic slur to attack brother. Jason Kelce slams fan's phone to the ground, exchanges homophobic slur after insult. 3, Jason Kelce slams fan phone down after they used homophobic slur toward his brother. And then finally, Jason Kelce seemingly smashes man's phone after use of a homophobic slur.
Allegedly.
Seemingly. That's 6 ABC Philadelphia went with the seemingly, covering their bases just in case Dominion gets frisky and says, hey, we didn't commit voter fraud in 2020, and we're suing ABC for Jason Kelce for some reason.
Right.
They're just making sure, even though everybody's seen the video, he seemingly slams the phone to the ground because Kelce could argue in court. No, I was holding it up high for everybody to see, and then I had a seizure and my hand
That's right.
Seemingly slammed.
It's an AI deep fake, and I'm suing the balls off of this online news article.
Oh, but I mean, come on. I hate to say this, but it's political. You know for a fact that he's pissed at Taylor because she endorsed Kamala, and that he's, or maybe it could be that he's pro-vax. He was Mr. Pfizer for a while, but
Yeah. Hey, man. Hey, maybe he just doesn't like the Chiefs, huh? Maybe he's old school. Maybe he just calls guys homophobic slurs because they play for a football team he doesn't like, you know?
that could be. We got asked a question. Have you guys, John Erishko Bueno, have you guys ever been to different countries? Japan, South Korea, Kuwait, Germany, the Netherlands, Ecuador, Dominican Republic, Mexico, Canada, Guam is an American territory, Afghanistan, Kyrgyzstan, Iraq. I said Kuwait. I think there are a couple others. Jake, go.
Yeah, Iraq and Afghanistan minus, a few countries to stop to refuel, basically,
Oh, you haven't been anywhere fun like for funsies?
Oh, no, that's not true. That's not true. I had my honeymoon in Cancun. It was
Yeah,
great.
there you go. Mexico.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Mexico, and then when I was a kid, I had a vacation in the Bahamas once.
Have not been to the Bahamas. We're going to
It's not. I mean, I was like
Costa Rica. Been to Costa Rica twice. Been to
oh,
Costa Rica twice.
there you go.
Got to hang with monkeys last time I was there. Oh, they were everywhere in the resort. It was beautiful.
Cool.
Yeah. How was it? How was what, Michael? Which country you want to know about?
Well, I think just the other countries, right? He didn't name one specifically. You were just telling him. I think you were.
The only country I didn't like was the Dominican Republic, and I didn't dislike it. It was just, man, Haiti gets all the shit. You go to an all-inclusive resort, and the instant you leave, like I love going to countries like Ecuador, Costa Rica, where you just go wherever you want. Dominican Republic, we went to a private resort, and the instant you left, it was like, oh fuck, I had never seen poverty like that, and I've seen poverty, and that was hands down. And you felt guilty, like, oh, here I am, this fucking American going to the exclusive place that, and I get it, it helps build up the economy, but not, I don't know, not my favorite. Dominican, not my favorite. Costa Rica, loved, been there twice. Ecuador was fantastic. Japan, I went to Japan during the cherry blossom in spring when beautiful, just beautiful.
Nice. Yeah, Cancun was great. I
hey,
like
Paul from Omaha.
It was the only time I've ever been at like a all inclusive resort. I'm kind of trash, so I don't really vacation or go to fancy places. I didn't like how much the staff kisses your ass. It was fucking weird. Like yeah. I was expecting to get robbed at something. You know what I mean? I'm like, they're being too nice. Like this is and then like once that I was past that, it was like, well, now I just feel bad. Like it's just sort of like just talk to me regular, like they do at the Holiday Inn or something. Like, dude, you don't need to do all. You don't need to act like I'm not royalty. I know I give off the aura and the appearance of a man who comes from nobility. You know what I mean? Like I'm some kind of a duke, some kind of British lord, and my wife is like a fancy lady. But no, I've never met Prince Harry, Meghan Markle, none of them characters. I've never been to the castle before.
You seen King of Kings?
King of Kings?
He called us the Epstein brothers.
Epstein brothers. Yeah, he never shared his money with us, that fucking bastard. He was, he cut us out of the family business so he could go diddle, and then we had to fucking, just get working stiff jobs. It was terrible.
I post a short every single day. Tamison, you got to click my profile. I post a short every single day. So if they're not ending up in your feed, just go click my profile a couple times to get back in your feed. But I have not missed a day in over 2 years. I post a video a day. So if you're missing them, it's because YouTube isn't putting them into your feed. Jake, you got thanked for your service.
Oh, yeah, you're welcome. I didn't do that for you, though. I did it to make 7 guys in Texas and Connecticut rich. A lot, just a handful of weapons.
You needed college money.
Yeah. And that was it. But yeah, thank you.
Yeah, love from India. Hello, India.
Hey.
All right. Do you want to start wrapping up, Jake? We've hit a lot of the comments we've seen. Yeah, we got through all our news stories. So
have you seen the dude? I started watching the Martha Stewart doc.
No, what is it on?
Shit, I forgot already, man.
As long as it's not Netflix, you know that we gave that one up.
Oh man, you got to get Netflix back, man. There's a lot of good docs.
Let's do one more comment. Did that truly actually happen, or what did Frank? What actually happen?
I don't know, man. There's no point in asking. They're not going to respond like super quick like that. You know, if the comment makes sense on its own, you got to, you know.
Paul joined the army just to get the fuck out of his house.
There you go. There you go.
That's what it is. That line in Jack Reacher, it's like you got people that are super patriots. You got people that just they want to get out of the house. They got to get out. They have no future. Like Jake is just like, I need a couple bucks. You just join the military because you have nothing else going on, and the military helps whip you into shape. So
I relate to that a lot because I joined the army to get out of Paul's mom's house too. We both joined for similar reasons.
All right. If Frank catches up, I'm going to go slow here. I can be found at nathantimmel.com. I have a t-shirt store on there that you just click, and I have over 50 designs. I have a 1 hour special here on YouTube, stand-up comedy. As I already said, I post a video every single day on YouTube, every single day. So if you want to see me, sometimes I piss a lot of people off with my stupid videos. Jake can be found on all social media at jakevevra.com, or not a website, at Jake Vevra on Instagram, on you. Everything is at Jake Vevra. How's your special coming? How close are we?
Probably a few weeks.
Okay. Promote it quick.
It's on YouTube. It's going to be on YouTube. Yeah. It's called Unalived by Dog Pills. So check that out.
And did you choose Unalived ironically?
What do you mean?
Well, because I did a video a while ago. I really hate the fact that the web services don't like the word dead or suicide or killed.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of it, but it's also, that's just, it's become a common phrase now too.
So. Oh, I still fight it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I thought you might have done it ironically, like, yeah, I was killed by dog pills, because as you'll find out in the special, Jake actually did go into a coma from taking dog medication.
Yeah, well, among other things. It was mostly
mostly the other things. But all right, he never got that question back. He never said specifically what. So thanks for tuning in. Well, between 10:30 and 11, we might push it, but we're trying to go live on YouTube every week. Jake's going to update his computer right now, so we'll do the full broadcast on Zoom. If you miss anything, if you tune in late, you can always find us on SoundCloud, Idiots on Parade. And there you go. Thanks for... if you're only pissing off a lot of people up, you're slacking. Yeah, we should piss off more. All right. I've been in metal bands that never took. Jake is special with his dog meds. All right, guys. V for Wombat showed up. I recognize.
With dog medication. What's up?
Yeah. All right. Hit and stop. End stream. Bye, guys.